it? You are playing a silly
Not
form
playing
of
anything.
gotcha.
I'm looking
so
for
you know, so when the Fed puts out the new interest rate, you can tell me which board governor wrote the letter that says here's the new interest rate. You can tell me that, and if you don't, then it's not a fact. Come on, this is a specious suggestion.
Please like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment below. Things got pretty heated when Chris Cuomo clashed with former Fox News host Bill O'Reilly during an appearance on Cuomo's NewsNation program. The exchange quickly turned into a tense back and forth, with both men taking shots at each other's arguments. We're going to break down some of the key moments from their confrontation, and I'll also share my thoughts on what went down. Let's dive right in.
Work. Plan A was kill the leadership and the people will rise up and we'll get rid of them once and for all. Didn't work. Was it worth a gamble? You know, they got a lot of credence out of it. You keep mentioning missiles. How many missiles do you think are in Iran? Do you know?
No clue, just like the U.S. government.
Well, why are you saying that the missiles then would be some kind of nefarious part of this agreement? Well, I don't.
Ask Israel.
This is not a good. This is not a
Bahrain.
This is not a good deal for Israel. But I don't know of any U.S. intel person who believes that their missiles haven't been downgraded severely. I don't know of any. If you can find one, put them on. Number two.
Here's what we know, okay? Not just the Wall Street Journal, which you say is the only fair newspaper in existence, but the Journal and other outlets have said we misunderstood how much they had been degraded, that their silos are able to be rebuilt very quickly. But that's not my point, Bill. I don't have to know the right answer. I'm not the president of the United States. But the president of the United States just said, I'm okay with them having missiles. How can I say Saudi Arabia can have them and they can't? Because one of them is an ally state and one of them is a terror organization.
Okay. I didn't
if a Democrat said that, your guys' heads would explode.
I don't have guys. I didn't hear him say that Iran having missiles
We just
was
said
okay.
it.
All right.
He just said it.
Didn't hear it.
Okay. Well, he said it. I promise.
Okay. I need to know the context and what, because he just doesn't say sentences. He says long paragraphs. But let's get back to the whole situation. So this is Plan B. And then Plan B changed, and this always happens in war, because of the damage to the worldwide economy. And Trump made the calculation, look, I can't absorb this. That's why Herbert Hoover rose from the dead and risk a worldwide depression. Plus, I think that in the United States, oil prices will come down. They're down in the mid-70s now. It's a big drop from 104 last week. And Trump hopes that the economy is going to smooth out fast and Republicans will win the midterms. So that was a big calculation. So Plan B is underway. Now, you keep saying that there's no diminishment in Iran's pursuit of a nuclear weapon. Based on what? Who says that?
Based on this memorandum of understanding.
Well,
it's not even mentioned.
Say that. It says very clearly that Iran says it will not procure or build or do anything on the nukes ever again. Look, I don't believe
that's what they said in the JCPOA.
Okay,
that's what they said a dozen times in different international agreements.
That's fine.
There's not even a single condition on what happens if they do in this. We'll see what happens in the ultimate deal. But the president is saying it's better than the JCPOA bill. He says this document is better than that one.
I'm not going to get into that because that's a Democrat.
Of course not.
No, it's a Democrat-Republican thing. You say
no, it's not.
It's
a bullshit thing, Bill.
No,
it's a bullshit thing. The JCPOA had a list of conditions and actions that had to be taken. This has none of that, Bill. It can't be as good as the JCPOA. It's not even close to it in its degree or its scope.
Look, he said quite clearly in his presser today that if Iran misbehaves and you'd have to put uranium enrichment in that category, he's going to blow them up. And
he said that 100 times. Okay, they're still there.
You don't believe anything he says. You don't believe anything.
And that makes me crazy.
The man said, no.
And that makes me crazy.
You don't believe him. You don't want to believe him. You're never going to believe him.
Please like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment below. Given Donald Trump's history of controversial and disputed statements, many people are reluctant to take his claims at face value. While Bill O'Reilly may question Chris Cuomo's skepticism, Cuomo's supporters argue that asking for independent verification is simply responsible journalism.
Oh, so it's because I don't like Trump.
Not
So
about
I don't
liking.
like Trump. It's not because of the facts. It's not that you'd say the same thing
There are no
if it weren't
facts.
Trump.
There are no facts.
Oh,
You
well,
haven't had.
there are no facts.
No, I'll give you one, and you're not going to be able to refute
Please.
it. Okay.
Okay.
So, after Obama made the deal, the United States and all of the other NATO countries did not supervise the enrichment of uranium. It was not supervised at all. None. Okay, so Iran did what it did. Now, if you
Not
can
a
bring
fact.
in one person.
So the IAEA, Grassi, the guy you say you interviewed, IAEA, 3 months before Trump left the deal, said that they were majorly in compliance with the deal.
I didn't hear
Okay,
that.
3 months before he left.
You gotta get this
you don't
guy
hear a
on
lot
your
of things.
program.
It's pretty convenient
No,
what you
no,
don't
no,
listen
I
to.
wanna see the guy
But
on your program.
Then,
Saying
well, hold on.
that.
3 months before he left, hold on. 3 months before, you can just Google it. Type it right now while
Not Google
I'm,
anything. Get him
talking out
on the
my face.
show. Have him on the
I'm
record.
happy to get him on the show. I already know it's a matter of fact. 3 months before, they reported that Iran was in compliance with the deal. Trump leaves, and within 18 months, they're now enriching up to 80% to be pissed off about the sanctions and as payback. Trump exiting the deal created the situation that he said he had to fix. That's a fact.
The guy that I talked to said nothing like that, and he's a weapons inspector too. And I got him on the record. You get one guy that say that, and I'll concede
Trump's
the
State
point.
Department said it in 2018. Trump's State Department said it.
Who said it in the State Department? Who?
The Secretary of State. The Department of State put out a statement that they were largely in compliance.
Pompeo? Who put it out?
Oh, so Pompeo, he wasn't the Secretary of State.
I'm asking,
Look.
who put it out?
The Department of State. It's an
Who?
official thing. They
Who,
gave a statement to
Cuomo?
Congress. Ben, give me who's on the letterhead that went to Congress from the Department of State. I don't understand the point of your question, Bill.
point of my
Are you saying
question
it
is
wasn't the
this.
real Department of State? Or you just don't like it?
No.
Or you want to say you didn't hear about it?
I want the name of the person who came out and said.
Ben, who
Ben-
was on it? Just tell me and I'll send
Who-
it. Not that this changes anything, but go ahead.
Of course it doesn't. Because you want to believe one thing, and the MAGA people want to
Bill,
believe another thing.
Let's do it this way. No. Because the facts don't have sides, okay? If you want to say the Department of State didn't say that in 2018, fine.
I'm not
we'll make
saying,
a little
I'm
wager.
saying who said it, and you don't
The
know.
Department of State. I don't have to have the name of the person who sent the letter to Congress. It
on.
comes from the U.S. government. I mean,
Then
come on,
tell
give me a break.
Who signed?
What a goofy argument this is from Bill O'Reilly.
Please like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment below. This moment was pretty funny because Bill O'Reilly seemed to miss the joke entirely. Chris Cuomo appeared to use a made-up name as sarcasm, but O'Reilly responded as if it were a real person. Instead of focusing on Cuomo's main point, the discussion got sidetracked, making for one of the more amusing moments of the debate.
And the letter, you
You are playing a silly
not
form
playing
of
anything.
gotcha.
I'm looking
So
for.
you know, so when the Fed puts out the new
validation
interest
of your
rate, you
statement.
can tell me which board governor wrote the letter that says here's the new interest rate. You can tell me that, and if you don't, then it's not a fact. Come on, this is a
It's not-
specious suggestion.
I don't believe it's a fact, but I could be wrong. But I'd
course
like
you could
to
be
know who in the State Department signed the letter, because I'm not aware of it.
Okay.
That
You're
makes
also not
sense?
aware that the president just said that the regime should be allowed to have missiles because you didn't hear it.
I didn't hear
And
it.
you're not sure about the fact that when he left is when they started enriching uranium to 60% because you didn't know it. So I guess these can't be true, Bill.
The timeline about enriching uranium, no one knows. No one's
that's
on
not
the
true.
record. No one does.
That's not true.
Who?
Here's the weird thing.
Wait,
the
wait,
one
wait.
thing that the
Who?
IAEA, okay, I'll give you who. That the IAEA, the IDF, and the regime in Iran all agree on one thing, okay? Which is, it wasn't until after Trump left and they imposed sanctions that Iran started to exceed their enrichment capacity in gross fashion.
Who
all
in the
three agree with that.
IAEA said that?
Grassi, Grassi.
On your
He's the head.
program?
No. Oh, so now if he doesn't say it on my show,
No, I just
it's
want to
not
know
good
where,
enough for you.
so I can find it.
Oh,
Because
here,
the
you see
guys
this? You
that
have one
I
of
had
these?
on
You have
didn't
one of
say
these?
we don't know
Go
because we can't
into
get
this.
in.
Go to Google and type in
Google
this.
again.
Google's no good?
Listen,
Google's
all
no good.
I'm
Who do you want to
saying
believe?
is, this guy
Ask the president.
Grassi,
See what he says.
this guy Grassi, you're telling me was allowed
Mm-hmm.
into Iran. The mullahs let him go in and evaluate their enrichment program. Is that what you're telling me?
Here's what I'm saying. One of the major flaws of the JCPOA was that they didn't have great access and their monitoring
no
equipment
access.
was messed with. No, they had access. They didn't have the access the way they wanted it.
They didn't have
and
any
they believe
access.
that they did have access.
Who?
They didn't have the access they wanted, and they believe. Will you stop with this stupid
Yeah, I'm
level
sorry,
of
I'm trying to
scrutiny?
get to
This
hard
Oh yeah,
facts.
because there's a guy named Scott Flannery, and he's from Massachusetts. He went in. Is it a fact now, Mr. O'Reilly? This is nonsense that you want to
Scott
play with this kind of
Flannery?
minutia to
Okay.
avoid the point.
I
Come
want
on.
to see
The
Scott.
point is this.
I'm going to try to get him on my show, and
The
I
point
want
is
you
this.
to try to get him on your show.
I love that O'Reilly doesn't understand that Chris Cuomo just made up a name to make fun of Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly.
You are filibustering because
I'm not
this is an
filibustering.
uncomfortable situation, and I understand that.
I'm asking
this
for
is
backup,
an exit.
Cuomo. I'm not
Oh,
filibustering.
no, you're not. No, you are not.
I'm
this is
asking
an
you to
exit.
back up what you say, because I don't
Everything
believe for
I've
a
just said is
second.
demonstrably true. You didn't even believe the president said that he's okay with them having missiles. He
I
just said
I
it on my
didn't
show
hear
in a
it.
soundbite.
I didn't say I didn't believe it.
Well,
So
first you
just-
said,
No,
first
no.
you said, I don't
You
think he
just
said it. Then I
misquoted
said he
me.
just said it. And then you said, oh, now you're misquoted. Come on, Bill. You know
You just misquoted me.
Okay?
I didn't say I
I did
didn't
not
believe it.
misquote
I
you.
said I didn't hear it. And everybody watching knows it. Anyway, look,
Oh, okay. You think that's their takeaway?
here's the takeaway that I, as an American
ahead.
citizen, that
Please.
this is Plan B, that it's the best thing for the United States because of the economic factor, which should have been evaluated by the Department of War and doesn't seem to have been. Okay? But that should have been, when you war game, what's the downside? What's the unintended consequence? All of the Hormuz stuff, okay, should have been in that equation. So if we don't get them,
It was.
I never heard Hegseth say anything about that.
I don't know what that jackass says, but what I'm telling you is that people who are involved in the strategy and planning and were stationed in Riyadh during the operations say that the Strait of Hormuz was always a variable they were aware of, and that the administration picked the priorities for the operations.
Okay, if you can get somebody from Riyadh on, I'd like to hear him say that. Look, Cuomo, you throw a lot of stuff out there. They do it all day long on cable TV.
I know, and I'm
And you don't
proven
have
to be
backup
wrong
for
so
it.
often. My sourcing is so bad.
All right, get the guy from
Bill,
Riyadh tomorrow.
Bill,
I wanna see him.
nobody has ever upset my reporting on anything. My sourcing in that administration is very strong.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, I can play your game if you want. Find me someone at the Department of War who says they had no idea that the regime was going to do this with the Strait of Hormuz, and they never gamed it out. Find me that guy, and I'll give you 10 grand to any charity you want.
Okay. They may have discussed it, but they did not discuss it in public. We didn't know, we the American people.
I thought we weren't supposed to. You're not supposed to give it away, Bill.
Give
Why
what
would you
away?
discuss strategy? Can't talk about your strategy in public. Can't talk about this. You give it to the enemy then.
Oh, now
that's
we're
why
being
they can't talk
sarcastic?
about it.
Is that what we're
Yes,
being?
because that's what you guys said when he didn't tell us
I
anything
don't
about
have
going
guys.
to war.
I don't have guys.
You
okay?
have a guy.
Cuomo has been sarcastic this entire segment, and Bill O'Reilly is just picking up on it.
I have
You have
no
a guy.
I try
You
to
have a
get
guy.
as precise analysis as I can get. If there's somebody in the Department of War who you know brought this out to the press, to you, to me, anybody, and said, maybe we don't want to do this because it could impact the world economy, I'd like to hear from that person. Is that
I'm
unreasonable?
sure you would. I'll tell you what. I'll put you together with them in private because it's not worth having
Put it on
people
your
lose their
show.
jobs. Oh, so that your buddy, Mr. Trump, can fire this person and several
in the
others
hood.
along with him?
Do a
Yeah,
little
sure.
hood thing. Or
Put him in a
whatever.
hood. What? Maybe a white one.
All right.
Anyway,
So anyway, look.
Go ahead. I heard you have something that you want to promote.
I do,
Is that
but I
true?
want to make one more statement about this because it's a very important
You may.
story. You have a plan B in motion, okay? Plan A didn't work out the way that the Trump administration and Netanyahu wanted. The goal was noble, in my opinion. Get these guys, get them out of there, give the Persians some quality of life. So it didn't work. Not unusual, right? Happens all the time in conflict. But now, Plan B is in place. And Plan B is a more precise analysis.
Please like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment below. All right, first of all, I have zero interest in whatever Bill O'Reilly is trying to promote here. But let's talk about the amount of coping going on in this exchange. I know Chris Cuomo has plenty of critics, but I still think he's a few steps ahead of Bill O'Reilly in debates like this. What stood out to me was Cuomo's point near the end. O'Reilly seems willing to accept whatever Donald Trump says without question, yet he demands direct, personal confirmation for almost every other piece of information. Cuomo kept telling him to simply look things up, but O'Reilly acted as if that can be independently verified. The whole argument felt bizarre. I also enjoyed watching Cuomo poke fun at O'Reilly throughout the discussion. A lot of the sarcasm seemed to go right over O'Reilly's head, which only made the exchange more
I don't want
entertaining.
to see
Instead of
whatever it is
addressing the
that
bigger
Bill
issues,
O'Reilly
he got
is promoting,
completely
but think
sidetracked and
about
lost in
the amount
details.
of coke.
As for the broader situation, I'm recording this on Thursday, and the memorandum is supposed to be signed tomorrow. Does anyone really believe everything is going to go perfectly and there won't be more tensions down the road? I'm skeptical, and Cuomo clearly seems skeptical too. One thing worth remembering is that being critical of an administration doesn't automatically make someone biased. Questioning statements from political figures who have a track record of misinformation is simply common sense. Healthy skepticism isn't bias, it's reality. But what do you think? Are you siding with Bill O'Reilly's arguments, Chris Cuomo's pushback, or do you think both of them are missing the mark? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment.